Hello, good evening, all. We're just waiting for people to join in. So we'll just give it a minute. And interim, I'll just start sharing my screen. I'll showcase a video and then we will interact. Just bear with me for a moment in here. Enjoy the video.
Across classrooms, schools, and education networks, learning is evolving. Introducing Knotral Trainings, an initiative by India Market Entry. Live trainings by international education solution leaders designed for real-world application. Understand products, explore features, and see how they work in real classrooms and institutions. Explore trainings across early years, EdTech and digital learning, social emotional learning and well-being, inclusion and special needs, curriculum and publishers, franchise and edupreneurs, higher education, teacher development, online schooling, and more. For teachers, school leaders, and business partners ready to adopt and implement global solutions. Knotral Trainings. Discover, experience, and partner with innovative education solutions. Explore more at training.knotral.com. Now let's begin. Are you ready?
Thank you so much. And I hope we are all ready now to kickstart. So good evening once again to all of you. My name is Malavika. I'm the host for you this evening. I have my team along with me, Ayan and Vivek, accompanying us from the marketing team. Thank you so much for joining in and thank you so much for giving us I would say, valuable time of yours, understanding the product and obviously associating with us. So we'll just keep it very, very simple. And let me just start with giving you a little bit of an introduction. So we all represent a company called India Market Entry. We are headquartered in Faridabad, Haryana. And Knotral Training is an initiative by India Market Entry. What typically we do is we are a consulting firm, or I would say a consulting boutique for tons of products which are internationally acclaimed, and they're doing really pretty well in terms of their respective countries. And they're looking to penetrate India and expand their business. And we are proud partners with EdAlive, that's the parent company. And we'll start with a small presentation before we dive into the presentation for the evening. Certain ground rules. So as of now, you all are in mute. You won't be able to unmute yourself and talk, just to keep the one person conversing at a time. Towards the end of the call, you would be allowed to unmute. You can turn on the videos as well, and you can ask as many questions that you want. You can let us know if you have any suggestions, any feedback, and of course, we would love to understand your insight and your perspective towards the product and towards the entire session for this evening. So before delaying further, I'll start sharing my screen. We'll start with a small presentation, and I request all of you for an active participation to make sure that you are completely with me, engaging, understanding, and aligning to what we want to offer you this evening. So thank you so much. Now, what you see on my screen, and hopefully you are able to see my screen, you can give me a thumbs up from the reactions if you're able to see my screen, please. So this particular training or the initiative is done by Knotral Trainings, what you see, and it is powered by EdAlive. EdAlive is an Australian brand, and it's almost 40 years old organization who has been into the edutech space. And initially, when they started off, it's a very beautiful history. We'll talk about this in the later part of the call. But this particular session has been precisely organized, keeping spelling competitions in mind. So if you are a spelling competitor organizer, if your children are into spelling bee competitions, if you're a teacher, if you're a school leader, if you're anybody from the education background, or even if you're a parent, if you think that spelling is something which always gives you a kick in your stomach, this particular session is meant for you. Now, why is this webinar? we have to understand before we actually move into the further understanding about the product and how exactly it is helping you for your day-to-day activities. It's very important for you to understand is what exactly the need of the hour. So why this webinar is schools are looking for engaging academic activities. I'm sure whoever you are, whatever background that you belong from, you always look for engaging academic activities to make sure that, I would say there is a very, I mean, today's kids, especially today's generation, they lack of concentration. They're always into instas and reels, and they're flipping over one another activities very fast. So keeping them engaged, keeping these engrossed, especially when it comes to academics, is something which is a challenge. And I think it's a challenge for every household and for schools and education centers as well. Competitions drive participation plus visibility. So when you're actually having competitions around, of anything, if you're actually organizing a competition, it helps, it motivates, it's a push for active participation. And of course, if you are doing well, or if you're an average performer in a particular competition, it still gives you a lot of visibility, which I think the students really love. Spelling is a universal academic skill. That is absolutely correct. No matter whichever country that you're from, no matter whatever age, grade, or any boards that you belong from, this is a universal academic skill which is required for obviously your vocabulary, your sentence formations, and an overall development in a particular language. But organizing these competitions are very time consuming, and it's inconsistent because it takes a lot of, I would say, back end work to develop such platform for engaging students and for how to exactly organize these kind of competitions. So here we are to simplify, to make your life easy. It is a one-stop solution for people who are looking to start organizing your very own spelling bee competitions. And of course, you will get to know how and through the platform, and of course through the presentation as well. Now, we have certain polls that we have designed for us to understand who you are, and I would request all of you to actively participate. So the first question or the first poll of the evening is who you are, or who are you? Are you a teacher? You're a school representative, you're an after school or a learning center, or you are an education solution reseller, distributor, or partners. So the reason for this question is for us to customize and align with the questions for the upcoming slides and for the entire evening's presentation. So we would love to know who you are, and I request all of you to actively participate and give your valuable inputs in here. I'm really sorry, my throat is really bad. You have to bear with me throughout the webinar, wherein I'll keep on sipping water. So I see almost 75% of people have participated. Thank you so much for those inputs. And the clear percentage who is standing out is teacher. Thank you so much, all of you, for putting in your inputs of who you are. It obviously will help us to understand and align to your thought process as we move further. Now, after the poll, we would love to know a couple of things, and just a moment here. Yeah. So a little bit of EdAlive that you should know. This is an interesting, I would say, the company, how it started off. In 1987, when they actually kickstarted their journey, they used to make CDs. These are all CDs which was gamified, which they actually started distributing from school to school, in with a lot of games and a lot of academic games. I'm sure people who are millennials or maybe way before that, they will align to this because there was no internet, there was no gamification, there was no access to internet as we do in today's world. Now, these were the CDs who this company used to develop and give it to the students for engaging academic purposes. Now, what they have done over the period of time, they have developed, they have kind of built in this platform for people to understand and through softwares. Now, these are very, very simple softwares. You don't need to download. You don't need a very heavy loaded machine for to actually run these softwares. These are all web-based, and you can start using EdAlive at your ease from wherever you are. This is a global trusted brand, especially when it comes to literacy and numeracy. And it's a product which has been intensively used in Australia, UK, and other markets as well. We have launched in India and running successfully in partner with IME. We are the brand which is representing in India. And we have, we keep on getting tons of inquiries on a daily basis wherein people want to know how they can expand their business, how there is a different vertical that they can actually explore. Now, I'm sure when you're actually looking to expand your business areas, there are certain challenges that you encounter. So we would love to know what is the biggest challenge when you are conducting spelling activities, if you have in the past, or if you intend to do in the future as well. So what is the biggest pain point for you? So number one, which is managing different levels, keeping students engaged, evaluating performance, lack of structured content, and others. If you're not sure what exactly it is, you can mention in the chat. So I see a lack of structured content is a challenge, and you would be very happy to know that we have more than 45,000 built-in words in Spelling Force for students practicing. And I'm just requesting all of you to actually participate. I do see only 60% of the people have put in their vote. I request all of you to, yes, thank you so much. Let it come more. So, okay. All right. I think we are towards the end. Now, what we see and what we have understood from the outcome is the biggest challenges are managing different levels. It is a task. It's a huge Herculean task when you are trying to organize. Forget about spelling bee competition. Say, for example, if you want to arrange a birthday party at your home, the planning, the execution, the preparations, the entertainment, the after, maths of a particular event, there are tons of things that has to be managed single-handedly. Imagine when you are actually managing an entire competition. So starting from your, brand promotion, starting from your exactly how the students are going to align with this, with organizing the actual event, and then followed by certain oral, questionnaires or oral competitions that you might like to also hold, followed by certification, recognition, and obviously inter-school, intra-school. Oh my God, that is a lot of, managing that has to be done single-handedly. So what we have done is to help you to structure it more in a much more efficient way. Now, what Spelling Force does and how it plays a very, very important role in your daily activities or how you're going to organize this. So first, let me give you a little bit of overview of what exactly Spelling Force is. The age group, which is kind of aligned or it is meant for, is from age 5 to 15. So typically, say from grade 1 to grade 10, 11, kids can use this. Now, after 10th, people typically in India, they get actually engrossed in their boards and they're preparing for, higher educations. So let us stick to say 1 to 10 in a ballpark. What it does is it's a fully automated game-based spelling and vocabulary platform designed for schools, learning centers, and also you can actively use it at home. The idea is to give you a tons of practicing. And I think how it happens is starting from the scratch, from the beginner level to the advanced learners. It is built and it is suitable for classrooms. It is suitable for English lab or any kind of a lab concepts, which is pretty trending in India at the moment. And also it's pretty good and I would say user-friendly when you want to use it at home as well. We have taken care and kept in mind that in India, most of the schools are on CBSE. So we have taken care of the NCERT requirements and we have covered and exceeded the requirements which has been specified. Of course, it has a voice enabling, which we have made it very suitable for an Indian audiences, wherein you can actually toggle between Indian and British language for somebody who is newbie, somebody who is not very familiar with any kind of a foreign accent. So we have made those changes. We have made it very, very friendly for somebody to use it. Sorry about that. Now, what we have done is we have actually loaded it 45,000 plus, and it is 45,000 and counting. These are words which starts from absolute basics, a one-letter word, a two-letter word, from phonics to introducing to the sounds, to the gramophones, every possible high-frequency word, low-frequency word. Starting from there, from the scratch, we are moving into the advanced level of sight words, frequency, and topic lists. It is a fully automated adaptive learning, mastery-based progression, and effective for weak and advanced speller. So somebody who is just, trying to keep up the pace, it's meant for them as well. Somebody who has been and consider themselves to be an advanced speller, it is also meant for them for the practicing and the continuous rehearsing of it. Now, what is important for you to understand is if you get a list of spellings in a classroom, just imagine what do you do typically in a classroom. You finish a chapter, you tell the kids, underline the important spellings and you memorize them, and then you come back with a spelling test. Imagine if you can actually have those spellings uploaded or reflecting in a gamified way. What would be the reaction of your students? I would love to know that. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me any reactions and tell me. Imagine you have done a story today, say Cinderella in a classroom, and you have the exact spellings uploaded very same day for the kids to practice on games, with games. So what we have done is there are 4 interactive spelling modes, which is quiz mode, look, listen, learn, practice mode, mission-based spelling games. I'll show it to you. I'll demonstrate the entire platform, and you can actually align yourself and understand how typically it's going to help and what exactly that I'm talking about. So each mode is targets with different learning styles. It keeps, keeping student engaged. And our motto is to make sure that they're practicing longer, they're getting, all the knowledge in a very fun method, and they should look forward to learn more things and engage in the same. Now, what we have done is the transition from a basic day-to-day classroom learning of very boring, similar kind of a pattern spelling learning, we have inculcated into a spelling competitions. Now, imagine you have, say, 30 students in your classroom, and today you ask them that, hey, you go and say, example like Cinderella being a story. So you go ahead and practice all the spellings for Cinderella. These are the 10 spellings. And tomorrow we'll have a competition around it. Imagine the spark, the brightness that you see in their eyes would be amazing, because they're looking forward to some kind of rewards and recognitions in a classroom. What you do is, now I'm giving you at a very, very scratch ground level what you can do in a classroom. You can create a student batch. So these 30 students, you can divide into 4 groups. You can assign a competition level. You can have the students play amongst each other, or the students can compete each other as a group, as an individual. You can attend the awards, and it has a real-time performance tracking and a leaderboard, which actually is an upper hand, especially when it comes to a school scenario, after school scenario, or any education sector wise. The leaderboard. So obviously we always want to say, as educators, as a parent, as a teacher, we always want to see what is the progress the kid has made from the journey that they started off and where they have reached. So this has those, I would say, features on a real-time basis, which actually allows you to see how the student did after, in a very second, they are done with their competition. So these are real-time results. And guess what? There's no manual correction. You don't need to sit, do the correction, nothing. It eliminates all the manual works. It's all automated. It's just one click away, and you should be able to get the results. It's very, very interesting, actually. Now, in terms of use case, so I have teachers being the winner of this particular group. What is the use case for you? So yes, as I said, class competitions. weekly spelling challenges. It can be inter-class, it can be sections, it can be inter-grades, however you want to, kind of organize these competitions, small, little competitions, to make sure the students are absolutely aligned and they're on their toes when it comes to learning. For a school, of course, if you're looking at a larger perspective of marketing and getting more engagement from parents, it also gives a lot of bandwidth for you having inter-house competitions, and it can be an amazing idea for having an annual academic events. You can actually celebrate those, you can reward the students, the winners. It gives you a lot of, I would say, a positive direction for driving a very simple thing, a very, very small thing as spelling into a bigger, larger, say, an academic event. Now, if you're a competition organizers, if you are, maybe you're running an abacus centers, maybe you're running a coaching centers, maybe you're running any kind of centers wherein you are after school activity centers wherein you're engaging with a lot of students, you can have these competitions organized at a larger scale, at a regional, at a city, at a spelling Olympiads as well. So when I mean is it can be as small as a group of 10 students and can be 10,000 students. So sky's the limit when we talk about the number of participations and number of people who are getting engaged at the very, very, very same time on the platform. Now, if you're looking for, partnering, so use competitions for lead generations, and of course, you can sell to schools with live demonstration. We'll talk about this demo as we move ahead, and let's play the game. So you have to just allow me a second while I just change the setting and log into the game. Just a moment. Please feel free to keep on typing in your chat, questions, suggestions, what exactly that you're looking forward to. We would love to, address this. We'll take all the questions one by one towards the end. In interim, we'll just showcase how typically the platform looks like. Give me just a second. Here you go. Okay, I'm just logging into my account. Right. So now you should be able to see my screen. Here you go. Now, this is the EdAlive platform, which is edalive.com, and it has 6, I would say, sub-projects that EdAlive take care of. EdAlive being the parent company, they have typing tournament, they have bagging the dragon, they have volcanic panic reading success, word rocks, and spelling force, and of course math invaders. So it is a combination of mathematics and English, what you see here. But today our hero is spelling force. So we will talk about only spelling force. If you're interested, we will talk about others as well, maybe towards the later part of the call. At the moment, I would like to take a small, give you a tour of the Spelling Force app. Now, I'm sorry, it's not an app, it's a web-based solution. So I'm logged into the dashboard. On the left-hand side, if you see on my screen, it has a school management, it has a Bragging the Dragon, Math Invaders, Spelling Force, Typing Tournament, and so on and so forth. Now, I have created a demo account. Now, this is all only for explanatory purposes. These are not real accounts. And for you to understand what are the features and how to do it, only a couple of things I would like to showcase for you to understand and how simple and how amazingly smooth transitioning method of actually hosting a competition. So first of all, let's deep dive into spelling competitions and see how typically it looks like. Now, I'm on the gaming console. Now, this particular screen, what you see on the left-hand side, these are the spellings that I have done recently. And of course, how can I forget? It has a worksheet option. And I know you can thank me later. This is a blessing in disguise for especially into an Indian scenario wherein teachers, parents, schools, everybody looks for worksheet. So it is a combination, you can say, of a digital and worksheet-based learning. Now, this is the option English accent, as I said. So if I want the entire platform to run on a British accent, I can put it as a tick. If I uncheck it, then it will be in an Indian accent. So for today, let's stick to an Indian accent. Now, what are the options that you see? Apart from the students and teachers tips, and these are meant for you how to play, a lot of tip and tricks for you to do well and perform well in a particular game. But what typically we will see is the customization and the implementation part of it. Now, say, for example, I just clicked on the option change. I was on Marigold Unit Story 5. Let me just change it to something else. I would love for you to actually, type in if you are using any of the NCERT books at the moment, and if you would like to cross-check and see what are the words which is available. So here what you see on my list, which is the built-in spelling list, it is more than 45,000 set of words which has been built in. So typically people who are into the spelling competitions or spelling bee competitions, max you can see is 10,000 words, but we have done way more to making sure that, the plate is completely full and you have the option to pick and choose based on the difficulty, based on the age appropriateness. Now, you can select as a difficult words. Let me just go to NCERT, which we are all pretty much familiar with. Now, NCERT, it has book 1 and it goes on to until book 7. So we have tried giving all the generic one. I'm not really sure if in this particular academic year it has been changed, but most of the schools follow this Marigold and, Honeysuckle and Honeycomb. So let's pick, say, book 2. And Haldi's Adventure. I think it's a very famous story which we all have learned some or the other way in our particular schooling life. Now, I have 6 words which is listed in here. Now, I understand the use case, and it's meant for all, regardless of whatever, you're a teacher, you're a after school owner, whatever profession that you're currently pursuing, understand in a classroom scenario. So I select a story, which is Haldi's Adventure. I did the reading. I have finished explaining the chapter in the classroom. Now, it is followed by, of course, with spellings and then question answers for the students. I want the students to actually, kind of come out perfect and 100% knowledge on the spelling part. So these are few spellings. You can feel free to upload of as many as you do that, and I'll tell you how you can do that, okay? Now, I have selected Haldi's Adventure as an option here, and I've selected the spelling list. Now, today I have finished the class, the particular chapter in the classroom, and now, if you see, the selected content has changed to Haldi's Adventure. Now, whatever worksheet, quiz, games, whatever I play, it would be aligned only to Haldi's Adventure. So say, for example, if I want to have a quiz, I clicked on that option of quiz and I started selecting. So it just, if you see my screen, it clearly says, let's do some work from spelling list. And then I go ahead and click on start option. Thanks.
School. I go to the same school really as did my grandpa.
If it is
School.
Just a moment. Oh, it is audible. Okay. Thanks, Anne. I'm not sure. It's not loading for me. Just give me a moment. My internet seems to be on taking a backseat today. Just give me a second. Yeah, here you go. Sorry.
School.
Yeah.
I go to the same school as did my grandpa. School.
So I can submit.
Giraffe. The giraffe can reach the leaves at the top of tall trees. Giraffe.
To an incorrect one. So it actually reads out. It actually gives you the sentence also. And I can flip, I can hear, and I can make the changes. And I did it incorrect purposefully. If it strikes it out and it gives the correct answer as well. So it's very, very important when you're actually rectifying it, so the student can pick up and they can continue practicing and say Giraffe as in giraffe. So this is typically the quiz mode. Now on the missions, there are 4 missions. X-ray emergency, major meltdown, magno beamer, and launchpad panic. I will not get into the detailing of the games because it will take a lot of time for you to, actually play. But yes, I'll tell you how you can actually experience it all by yourself. Adding on, it has the standard mode, it has a challenge mode, and it has a relax mode. One thing before I forget, which is very, very, very critical for you to understand, please pay attention to this. The entire EdAlive platform is based on adaptive learning. Now, what do you mean by adaptive learning? Say, for example, anybody who is actually launching into or kind of logging into the platform, everybody starts from basic. Depending on your intellectuality, depending on your perfection, depending on your practicing capability, depending on your knowledge, understanding of a particular method, spelling, be it English or maths for that matter, it adapts to your learning style and it actually progresses like that. So it's very, very important to understand that there is an AI which is working in the backend to making sure it is aligning with your understanding and capability of a particular spelling. I didn't want you to forget that it's a very, very important point. So sorry to, kind of break the flow. Now, moving on, we have the third option as in look, listen, and learn.
Clouds.
So you can
Big black
look,
thunder clouds fill the sky. Clouds.
listen, and learn. So I have the sentences big black thunder dash filled the sky. So I have clouds. The word got hidden as soon as I started typing. And then, and just move on in here. Is your answer correct? Yes, it is. All right.
Surprised. They were surprised by our unexpected visit.
So this is
Surprised.
helping me to retain, memorize with my visualization. So as soon as I start typing, it hides the word. See, I delete, it just has hidden the word. So surprised. I can check the word and I can say yes. Perfect. So I hope you got just a fair bit of idea of typically what it looks like. Now the worksheet. Before I go ahead and actually take you understanding the customization, which is one of the very, very interesting feature of this entire platform, I'll give some more time for you to understand and analyze those. This is a worksheet. Now, worksheet will come as, say, for example, it typically says here is for Ms. Banerjee and for Marigold Unit 1, which is Haldi's Adventure. I can have the worksheets, and if you see on my right-hand side, it's a printable option. So you can print and give the handouts to them. I can put in a show answer, I can hide the answer, and I can play around as I want to. And then I can regenerate the spelling if I wish to. So all those things can be done. So it is pretty handy, and it eliminates all the manual work, which I think it's very tiresome sometimes, and which has been, we are doing this from like donkey's years too. And this actually eases out and help us to kind of grow with the trend at the moment. Now, this is, we are at the dashboard. Now, one thing which is very, very interesting, say, for example, I want to change. I've shown you the one which is, phonics progression, everything is there. So somebody who is absolutely, teaching in the scratch level, that's also possible. Let me go ahead and change. Go to the custom spelling list. Here, for example, in Haldi's Adventure, we saw only 6 spellings. I want to add some more. So I can say, put as, say, a joke. Also, it gives you all the, similar sounding words. I think it's called homonyms and synonyms, which is also mentioned in there. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I have result. So I can select the one which can be a part of it. And I'm just selecting random, word for demonstration purposes only. And selected information. So say I have selected only 3 words here. Okay. Select the spelling list. I have selected the spelling list. And if you see, immediately this gets changed to custom spelling list. So I can now, if I see quiz, I have
joke. That joke was very funny.
3 spellings that I've added. has come as my
Result.
quiz.
The result of the game was announced
Isn't
on
it amazing?
TV.
Now, you can upload up to any number of spellings, and you can, kind of keep on experiment of how much ever you want in terms of implementation. Just give me a second. Okay, let me go to the menu. I'll go to the app library. And again, it takes me back to the main dashboard. I'd like to give you a glimpse of the school management bit, because you got a fair bit of idea how Spelling Force works. Obviously, it is not a very elaborative demonstration. It'll take a lot of time for you to understand and analyze. But say, for example, if you're a teacher in the classroom and this is the dashboard that you have, you click on the option as Add Class. So say I am a teacher for, say, class 2, and I can put in the class name as, I can put it as a section 2G, yeah, and I can select as OK. And see, I have 2G created already. Now, say, for example, I have, let me just put in some name here, random Ram. All you have to do is put the first name. You can create. As soon as I create, I have the username and password. So what you'd give is a name and the password. Sorry, the username and the password to your student called Ram, and they should be able to log in. And then you can actually assign a particular chapter, customize spellings. You can do it all. It's very, very, very simple, very easy to actually execute and experience the platform. Okay, so let me just go ahead and continue with sharing the presentation at the later part, because we are running out of time. Just give me one moment in here. So hopefully, just I need a thumbs up, because I need some interaction, and I want to make sure everybody's still awake and following me. And you can give me a thumbs up if you're still okay, good to go, so far so good, and then we can continue with the next part of the presentation. So this was a glimpse of the platform. It was just a small tour of the platform. Now, what you need to do is, why school needs Spelling Force? I know I don't need to answer that question. I know you are in a better position to answer that. And that's the reason maybe you are here, part of this call this evening, spending your very, very precious 1 hour to understand how you can actually incorporate it. But again, putting it in a nutshell, teachers struggle with mixed ability classrooms, manual correction workload. I know how painful it is, and student disengagement. This is a main 3 pain areas out of all, which is a big struggle for the teachers on a real-time basis. And what school needs is a structured progression and a measurable outcomes, and minimum teachers effect, that we want the students to be still engaged. Now, what teachers in school benefits? So if you are looking to implement EdAlive or Spelling Force precisely into your school, what is that you're going to get out of this? So of course, automated assessment and reports, word-by-word performance tracking, printable worksheets, reduced correction workload, and fits seamlessly into ICT and English periods. And why, I think, which is the my favorite part, why schools adopt, or a school actually loves this, because there is something interactive, a very positive engagement and feedback that we have received through tons of testimonies from the existing users in India. Now, I'm sure if you're a school owner, if you are a person who is managing an institute, you would say it's a lot of work for admin, and no, it isn't. It is absolutely IT and admin friendly. What you have to do is as simple as I have shown. I have not preloaded, I have not saved anything. I've just logged in, went to edalive.com, and I'm done. So it just lands up on EdAlive Central. Then you will get the login credentials, and you have to just log in. The best part and the good news is it is friendly with Windows, Macs, Chromebooks, tablets, modern browsers, and no installation required. I'm sure all of you have the same question. Is it, or does it work on mobile? Yes, answer to your question is yes, it does work on mobile. However, you have to change it from horizontal to a landscape mode for a better user experience. But again, for worksheets and for answering the quiz, etc., it is perfectly fine. But when it comes to playing the games, you might feel a little off the track. So a tablet and a laptop on a bigger screen is suggested. But yes, it works on mobile for sure, to answer your question. Now, you have to give me a couple of seconds to hydrate my throat. Interim, I would request all of you, if you would like the product, if you like the presentation for the evening, if you think this is something is meant for you, and if you're interested to know more and have a detailed conversation with us, a candid conversations around your requirement, please scan the QR code and you get a complete demo. So whoever is, kind of very, very excited to see and explore more into the platform and start their journey, I would request all of you to actually use the scanner. If just a moment in here, you should be able to scan it now. Yes, I have the scanner displayed on the screen. I request all of you to take out your phone, or if you're using the phone, you can minimize your Zoom call, and you can just scan this and you can fill out the form, which will help us to know you more and about your requirement, your background, a couple of very simple questions, and then we'll reach out to you for a one-on-one candid conversation addressing to all your queries and the implementation part. Thank you everyone for being patient. My throat is gone for a toss. So I have been sipping water and you guys have been a really, really patient audience. So hopefully everybody has used this scanner, and what is next is what we will talk about. Just a moment. So now the floor is open for your questions, your clarifications, and partnership discussions. Of course, you will see on your screen on the chat box, my colleague has shared the link for you to also fill up the form, just in case if your scanner is not working. Feel free to type in there and ask your questions. Now, I open the floor for all the questions, all the implementation, how you can use it in your classroom, about the content. I would love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much. I request all of you to ask questions. Let me quickly run through the versatile phonics garden, of course. All right. Thank you so much, Manjusha. I'm amazed that you loved it. It will be interesting, able to remember. Yes, it is. It is. Interesting. Interested. Yes. So now we're looking forward for your questions. Let it all come in. If you have, it is changed as per the latest curriculum in CF 2020. See, the recent changes, I think, which was launched in this academic year, it is not implemented yet. However, we are working continuously for the improvisation. But yes, any new books, and I think I saw like a post today, this afternoon, there are like more than 9 changes which has been implemented this particular academic year on. So English being as one of foreign languages and not a compulsory language, it's being counted as foreign language at this moment. So yes, we are working on in terms of the implementation and improvisation, and the customization always gives you a lot of window for you to do it yourself. Any more questions? Thank you so much, Samsung SM, for asking that question. I think it is a question for all of you this evening. Anybody else has any questions? I would love to address those. Also, if you would like to take a tour of the platform, we do have free trial options available as well. So I request all of you, I'll just bring up my scanner again on the screen. So you can actually fill in the form, which is in the chat box, or you can actually scan this QR code, fill out your details, and you can actually schedule a call with us. We can give you a live demonstration of the platform. I can talk about more and more about the other apps as well, which is Math Invaders and Word Rocks. There is Bagging the Dragon. So there's very, very interesting, I would say, content, especially for maths. It has been again lined to from grade 1 to grade 10. And it goes from beginners levels way to advanced of fractions, decimals, algebraic expressions, trigonometry. It covers it all. So that's part of the maths. But again, in English, it has taken care, and the feedback that what we have got from the current users, that it has been amazingly helpful in a classroom scenario for the students who get disengaged very, very quickly. So Kinjal has a question, ma'am. The pronunciation facility available for difficult spelling? Pronunciation facility, you mean breaking up the spellings, is it? You can put in a yes, that option is there. How to simplify? So it will actually, again, I said, Kinjal, it starts from adaptive learning. So, starting from absolute scratch, and it takes to from basics beginners to intermediate and then advanced. And it does gives a lot of insight about the pronunciation. There is a lot of audio, a lot of gamification which has been done to make sure that, the kids are able to pick up. Kids are way smarter than we used to be these days, and they pick up things very, very quickly. And if you are actually using, tools like Spelling Force, which is interactive, which is engaging for the students, it gives a lot of room for the teachers to actually experiment and teach tougher words. Yeah. I'm looking forward to more questions, and I'm also sharing my screen, the scanner displaying if you have any questions, if you'd like to connect with us. Maybe I will reach out to you, or any of my team member will be reaching out to you, addressing your queries, helping you to set up your demonstration account, and you can actually experience your EdAlive, very own EdAlive platform, and how it functions for you to understand, explore each and every aspect of it. Thank you so much, Kinjal. Okay, we have any more questions for the evening? Till which grade this works? So typically it is aligned for age group of 5 to 15. So till grade 10, people, kids can use it. Yeah. 10th in India specifically, it's like people too engrossed in preparing for their boards. So, but it is meant for people who are beyond 10th also, because spelling is something that you align, but pretty much till 9th and 10th kids can use this. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. Thank you, Samsung. Any more questions I can address and I can help you with this evening? Please feel free to unmute yourself if you would like to talk. You can switch on your camera, and we can definitely have a chat around it. Hi, Gururaj, welcome. Any more questions that I can address for this evening? No worries, that's fine, Gururaj. You always make it, so that is what's important. Thank you so much for joining in. All right, so if you do not have any questions, I hope everybody has used the scanner code or the scanner to actually fill out your queries and, kind of participate in one-on-one candid conversations. If you have any questions, you can still unmute yourself. You can ask. If you want to ask on a one-on-one basis, obviously we would love to address those as well. If you're interested for Spelling Forge, if you're looking to implement at your home, at your school, at your institution, and as an activity center, feel free to fill out the form, and then we can address all the queries for you, and we look forward to associate with you as soon as possible. All right, I think there are no more questions. We can wrap it up for the evening. Any more questions, you can still unmute and ask. And so people who are just joining in, Ghazala, welcome. So I think people are still joining in. We are almost wrapping up of the entire session. And if you would like to know more about the platform, if you have missed out on a certain aspect while you are occupied, cooking or, kind of household chores, or maybe answering questions to your friends, relatives, kids at home, feel free to fill out the form. So people who have just joined in, Ghazla, Shabnam, I think you missed out on a lot. We started at 6. You can still go ahead and fill out the form, which is in the chat box. And I will also share my screen for the scanner. And you can scan using your phone, using any devices. You can scan, you can fill out the information. And it's just a simple form for us to know you better. And then we will reach out to you as soon as possible and then address all the queries that you have for us. And yes, we can help you setting up demo logins as well for you to experience the platform yourself. If you have kids at home, do ask them to also actively participate, because I think they're the best people who actually gives you an honest feedback about the experience of a particular platform. So right now I'm kind of sharing my screen. People who have just joined in, you're a little late for you missed out a lot of part of the session. Very critical one. We had a tour of the platform. We spoke about the implementation. We spoke about the scope of this particular spelling force in the industry. All right. I think if you have already used the scanner, we can wrap it up for the evening. Thank you so much. Thanks. Oh, Harry, you've just joined in. All right. Welcome, Harry. We were just discussing about the platform and the implementation part of it. It is aligned for people who are into, education sector, be it, or rather, if you're a parent as well, you can actually implement it for your kids. So you can actually fill out the form and we will give you a one-on-one demonstration of the platform, maybe through Google Meet or Zoom call, and we'll walk you through of how to implement it in your school, classroom, home, regardless of the background that you belong from. All right, thank you so much. I think it has been a wonderful session. And thank you so much for all of you being so patiently engaged and understanding the platform. And hopefully we will connect soon. If you have anything that you would like to, put as a feedback, suggestions, you're always welcome to give us all this insight for us to improvise and scale up our, game. And we look forward to connect with you very, very soon. Thank you once again, all of you, for being such a wonderful participant, being a wonderful audience and listening to me very, very patiently. And sorry about the terrible voice. Thank you so much, Knotral team. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. That's a wrap for the evening. Have a lovely evening ahead.